Expectations from day one. I'm going to be outlining literally from the day that we start working together until the last day, expectations of myself and what I can expect from you. The content and what we're going to be running over. So you've got expectations, which is the 4 pillars, which is honesty and transparency, commitment, delayed gratification, results and discipline. You've got check-ins, how they work, what time they need to be sent in by, etc. Working hour responses. So for example, if you message me out of hours, I will get back to you the next day. And then transformations. So these are 8 things that we're going to be running over today. So the 4 expectations, it's what I've just mentioned before. So honesty and transparency, commitment, delayed gratification, results and discipline. So if we nail these 4 pillars from the get-go, it sets me and yourself up for a really impressive partnership, and the end result will create a totally different, healthier lifestyle for yourself. The first one we're going to be running over is honesty and transparency. If I feel you're doing great and you're ahead of schedule, I'll tell you. So that can vary from steps, nutrition, training intensity, the way that your physique is getting developed. I'm going to be honest and be transparent with you. But same again, if I feel you're behind and I think you can do more, I will tell you. It's a kind of tough love situation. And that's the kind of coach you want behind you. You know, if you're doing good, I'll tell you. If you're doing bad, I'll say, right, you need to pull your thumb out your ass because we're just not getting the results we want. Let's look at what could be changed and let's put that plan into action. If you've had a slip up one day or a weekend where you've gone off track, I'll just say, look, we could improve this. Let's be more mindful. Let's start afresh Monday. But if you're honest and transparent with me and say, look, I'm going out this weekend, most likely I'm going to be drinking and, eating a bit too much. I'll say, right, I'll put a plan in place a week before to counterbalance these things. So that's the way that we work. If something is going on in your life, just be transparent about it. I've had people before where they've just left me in the dark, and it's a bit of a sticky situation because I want to help you out as much as possible. But if you don't reply, then it's pretty difficult on both ends. But if you just give me a heads up, say, look, I'm having some family issues or going through a breakup or just whatever it may be, I'm going to hospital, just drop me a text. I'm very understanding, so I'm sure we can work around that as well. And lastly, our partnership is built on trust, and the best transformations come from trust and honesty. So a lot of people that put the trust in the process get the best results. A lot of people that are honest get the best results because I can plan ahead for you. So yeah, honesty and transparency, if we can keep to that, then we're going to get a very good condition and physique from it. So commitment. I'm a committed coach to help get you from point A to point B, the smoothest way possible and the way that works for you. I am going to really make sure that this program is tailored around your work and family life commitments, because if it wasn't, you'd find it a slug, you'd hate the process, and you just really wouldn't want to continue working with me. And then the second point is I have experience of helping hundreds of people ranging from all kinds of starting points. So, all walks of life, all sizes, different lifestyles. A lot of the transformations do not actually go onto social media. There's tons of people that don't want their names or photos to be shared on social media. So yeah, I've helped hundreds of people at this point, but not a lot actually reach it onto social media. There's a lot of work that goes on behind the scenes. From yourself, I expect consistency in all areas. So that could be diet, workouts, steps, your mindset, sleep, etc. After you want to make the most out of this investment, I wouldn't want you to waste your money. As much as you're doing this for you, you're also representing my business as well and brand. So the results that I do show on social media, that is, the hard work that we both put in. So it's kind of respect as well as commitment from the whole process. But what I want to say to you is, even when you feel tired, unmotivated, you must be consistent and show up on those days, because those days are the ones that actually you look back and go, fucking hell, hardly had any sleep that night, but I've turned up and I've got 1% better. So always keep that in mind, commitment from day one all the way to the last day. Next up is delayed gratification. A lot of people want instant results, and that's not how it works. So, basically meaning that you must be willing to show up for days, weeks, and even months without any immediate results being given to you. The work you put in now will show weeks down the line. And everybody, like I just said, everybody nowadays wants results there and then. And it just doesn't happen, and it isn't achieved like that. You've not got to give up. If you truly put in the work and go above and beyond, they will show at the end through your results. You've just got to try harder and harder when you do not see anything changing, and you feel like you want to give up, basically. I want you to have this at the forefront of your mind every single day, because it's not about instant results. It's about embracing the journey and really just changing your mindset. You should be committed to show up without immediate results. Results don't come in a day, a week, or a month. It takes months of hard work to see small changes. But once you start to see those little changes, that's when it becomes obsessive, and we go from strength to strength. So this little image here is, the day you plant the seed is not the day you eat the fruit. So, week 1, week 2, week 3, you start to see little changes. Week 4, and you just get that momentum. And, when it comes to the last day and you've worked your ass off, that's when you see the fruits of your labour, basically. Moving on to results and discipline. The results that you produce will be totally dependent on the energy you put forward into your diet and routine and workouts. When you really focus on those 3 factors, that's when you get results. I've had a lot of people before say that they're following the advice, the goals and targets, and they don't get the results, where, science is science. And when you do look after your diet, your routine, your workouts, your sleep, and you look after all of that, you get those big results, and there's no hiding from that. And it's pretty straightforward. The more discipline you implement, the better results you get, and that's a fact. So if you want to sacrifice drinking, going out, and you want to do 12, 24 weeks of solid graft, you will get results. But if you're dipping your toe in and you go out every weekend, Friday, Saturday, you're hanging Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, you're only just coming round Wednesday, Thursday's half-assed, and Friday you start the whole process again. So yeah, you get what I'm trying to say from this. So yeah, like I said, I don't know anyone who's achieved big results or transformations by not being disciplined. When you take things seriously and you're disciplined, that's when you start to see the big change in your lifestyle, your habits, and your physique. It's something that people think, fuck, it's a chore, but it is a short-term sacrifice for long-term gain. And that's where discipline comes from. You've got to look at the bigger picture, basically. And then finally, when the cravings come and you ignore them, you're hungry but you don't crumble, and you're tired but you show up when you don't feel like it, that is what discipline is. It's applying yourself day in, day out, week in, week out, to have that end goal always at the front of your mind. So they're the 4 pillars. Pretty straightforward in a way, but it's just, it sounds simple, but putting it into practice is just a little bit harder. So moving on to check-ins, how check-ins are going to work and the expectations that I have of you. So without check-ins, I can't make any, next week improvements. So as long as you're aware of this, because it's essentially like taking a stab in the dark with no data or feedback to go off. When you've completed a week and there's no notes, no nothing, for example, like the metrics, notes on your workouts and stuff, it is very hard for me to say, right, let's do this, because I need to see what your body's reacting like to the certain targets and if you've hit them. So it is vital for pointing out what you've done well, but also to point out what could be improved. The clients who have filled in check-ins on a weekly basis have achieved unbelievable results, and those who haven't really achieved those top tier results. They've definitely seen changes, but I have such high standards for myself, but also people, that I want you to achieve results that you never thought were possible. So that's why check-ins are really, really important. So if they are sent through on the day that I do need them, but out of my working block hours of check-ins, it will be done either the next day, the next free block that I have to do some work, or potentially might even call you and discuss the check-in and see how it works. But yeah, there is certain times that you should be getting the check-ins for. Usually it's before 8 a.m. I do working blocks, so from, I think it's 7 a.m. until about 11, 12. So as long as you get it in before then. But, you know, just a rough idea. These are the questions that you answer. So any disruptions to the program this week, etc., you get the gist there. And then these are just, you know, weekly things. You type in your scale weight once a week. Daily steps, you do that every day. Sleep, hydration, resting heart rate. I need to see these numbers to make, you know, next week's goals and targets. So I work in blocks as I'm a hybrid coach, which means I PT on the gym floor, but I also am an online coach, obviously. So once again, as long as you're aware of this, you will receive a check-in response within 24 hours. That's the basic standard. So if you were to send it 8 a.m., you will 100% receive it before 8 a.m. the next day. But just be aware, being a hybrid coach, you know, I've got a lot on. So don't worry if you haven't received it in a couple of hours. You can send me a message after, just say 4 or 5 o'clock, but I will get it back to you within 24 hours, 100%. So lastly, working hour responses. So same again with check-in. So I'll always do my best to get back to you if you have any questions whatsoever. You know, regarding the process of the programming, the training, nutrition, anything that you have a question-wise, you send it through. My schedule and routine at the moment is at an all-time high. So, you know, PTs, working blocks, consultation calls, client catch-up calls, training, online work, the list goes on. You understand what I mean. So I will try and get back to you ASAP. If you do message me though, I will always try and get back to you within a 9-hour period. Any questions you do have, I am putting together a frequently asked questions page, which I'm 99% sure will answer any question that you've got. So the working hours that I do respond on WhatsApp, and you know, it is important for me to have downtime as well. So Monday to Thursday, 6:30 a.m. to 8:30 p.m. Fridays, 6:30 a.m. to 5 p.m. and Saturdays, 7 a.m. to 1 p.m. and Sunday, that is the day that I have off to, you know, recharge my batteries, to give you the best service possible. I need to make sure that, you know, I'm always getting better and better, so I need that day off. But yeah, this is basically it, really. It's a slideshow just to show you the expectations, the standards that you need to meet now. And I just want the best for you as a coach. I just want you to get the best results for your mental health and your physical health.